Welcome, acolytes. Right now, I am reacting to SunnyV, athletes who retired but were more successful after their retirement. So they just found something good, and I hope they have their freaking bonuses, pluses, as you wanna say it. It's just good to see if somebody succeeds, but try to succeed yourself. And yeah, let's just start about this SunnyV. And by the way, if you like my content, leave a like, subscribe with a compress notification button, and show me and SunnyV some love. And by the way, I actually see a lot of people that comment that yes, the guy named SunnyV2 is written down as SunnyV2. So I'm gonna react to that one and say, if you think that, and you cannot differentiate the U from a O, please get tested. You need a pair of glasses. Maybe I pronounce it wrong, but then write down you pronounce it or it's actually pronounced this way. But this is clearly a U. An U, for fuck's sake. Okay, good. This is just, damn, like, some people are just so mentally not there. But okay, let's just start the entire thing.
Had officially ended, but these 10 athletes were just getting started, and none were as strange as George Foreman's transition from boxing to kitchen appliances. He retired at the age of 48 with minimal future prospects, yet it thankfully claimed his success was due to his healthy eating, because at the same time a company called Sultan was developing a special type of grill that would drain the excess fat out of anything it was cooking. George Foreman let the company use his name in exchange for 40% of profits, believing this was his fate by tweeting, "While I was KO'd, I saw a giant piece of meat screaming, 'Grill me.' When I woke, I said, gotta find a grill," thus the George Foreman grill. The product...
And by the way, if you don't overdo it, the fat is actually healthy for you. Not overly much, but if you eat just a bit, your body actually burns it way easier than other stuff in the, like, sugar or something like that. So before you eat sugar, eat something fatty. Don't overdo it, by the way. Do not overdo it. A bit. Just a bit. The natural fat that is in the meat itself. Not anything extra. Except for bacon. Bacon has a lot of fat. I still eat bacon. So there's
however, was a total failure until he also began hosting their infomercials. George Foreman explained that at the height of the grill's success, there were months I was being paid $8 million, yet he'd eventually sell his share in the product for a one-time payment of $137 million. Yeah. The product became so popular, one person posted, "Today I learned that George Foreman is not just a brand of grill. It's actually the name of a real man who was once a boxer, while the name Jason Statham belongs to a man who was once a diver." He made it to the 1990 Commonwealth Games, where the judges continually highlighted that he wasn't doing well.
Jason Statham, who's not having a good time. He's moved from 8th, slipped down to 11th.
Despite placing 11th, he'd explained that diving...
By the way, this is the best case of, if you're not good... Well, I mean, he's number 11 at the freaking Olympics. Of course he's good. He's not just number 1 good. But if you're doing something and you're not the number 1 in it, maybe there's something different you can. And being the number 1 worldwide is really hard, by the way. There is literally a handful of people that actually make it. You can try, of course. I'm gonna say never give up. That's also something I am totally against of. If you see you cannot do something, let it slide. Be like, okay, good. I'm gonna just settle it. It's fine. I tried. That's good enough. But if you're like me, I'm still going up on this channel. I'm actually doing way better than I personally expected. And maybe I'm doing something right. I just don't see it. Or I still finding myself. But still, if I seen that I do not get, after 2 years of doing this, I do not get my 100, I would be like, okay, good, it's fine. I'm just not made for this. And just give it up. It's fine. If you do your best, you fail, look for something else. That's fine.
Teaches you discipline, focus, and certainly keeps you out of trouble, which are principles he'd also apply as an action movie star. Statham performs his own stunts in every single movie, applying his swimming ability in productions like The Meg and Expendables 3, where diving actually saved his life. Whilst filming a truck scene beside a dock, the brakes on the truck failed, plunging him into the sea.
60 feet at the bottom of the Black Sea, stuck in the mud. How am I going to get out of this? This is how it ends.
Yet Jason was able to free himself and swim 20 meters back to the surface. Terry Crews, who we'll talk about later, said, "He was a professional diver, that was his thing, man. If it would have been me, I don't know if it would have ended that way." Statham further added, "I think what I didn't achieve in sports has probably helped me focus more and take my acting career more seriously, while Arnold Schwarzenegger was only able to act."
And by the way, yes, if you learn a certain discipline or learn to just bite through things through, it's fine. Because I am not saying what I did not say in the last thing that you should give up after one failure. No, you will fail a lot of the times. Even if you're good at something, you will fail at some point. Not one failure, I mean a constant failure. So, and a discipline of saying, okay, good, I have to focus. That's a very good thing. Everybody should learn it at some point, because I myself, I actually building up those skills for, well, about a certain time. So actually doing that right now. And the next step is just losing weight. And I'm actually pretty good on it. Already lost 18, sadly gained 2 because I actually slipped up for the last few weeks because, well, a lot of stress. And yeah, I just realized it, snapped back in, and I'm losing weight again. So you will slip up, but just go for it, gain, or lose in this case, just do it.
Because of his sporting achievements. In the very same year as Arnold's first Olympia win, he was given the lead role as Hercules in New York, being cast for his appearance which resembled the Greek hero. After his 7th Olympia win, Arnold was cast as Conan the Barbarian, the Terminator, and Dutch from Predator, each being influenced by his bodybuilding background. In the process, Arnold appeared on talk shows giving bodybuilding tips, also being elected governor for 8 whole years. More recently, however, Forbes announced that Arnold had officially become a billionaire, yet Magic Johnson already achieved this many years beforehand. He was the NBA's most valuable person during 3 separate seasons, while ESPN called him the 5th best player ever. But despite the Red Hot Chili Peppers writing a song about him, Johnson's career earnings were, according to Forbes, only $40 million, yet he spent it extremely wisely. Magic Johnson began investing in sports teams, pooling money to buy the LA Dodgers, for which he was heavily criticized.
We went in and bought the Dodgers for $2 billion, and everybody said they're the stupidest businessmen on the face of the earth.
Until it quadrupled in value.
At $8 billion, they said, oh, they're the smartest guys.
He'd therefore also invest in the Los Angeles Sparks.
And yes, smart investments actually help you way more than others. But that doesn't mean, because a lot of people don't understand if I say that. If you invest in something, you actually have to wait accordingly to the investment you make. As I actually invested in some houses, now I'm landlording. Do I actually make money out of it? No, it's zero. Especially because I am a nice dumb fuck that actually doesn't freaking drive the prices up as high as I can. I'm keeping them so low as actually physically possible from the state, because if I keep it too low, the state comes in and kicks me in the balls. So there's that. But yeah, some investments pay out quicker, the others slower, but all in all, most investments take time. But no matter what you do, inform yourself beforehand and just do the thing you want to invest in, and calculate the risk. The risks can be gigantic, even without you knowing it. So, and only invest money that you have, like an upper limit of, yeah, I have this and this much money, I can invest this without it hurting me. So there's that. Yeah.
The Los Angeles Football Club and the Washington Commanders, all while leading operations for the Los Angeles Lakers. He then launched his own talk show, his own film studio, and even his own record label, before also buying a movie theater, the tallest building in Brooklyn, and 125 Starbucks locations. However, there was one investment that was stranger than any other. In 2015, Magic Johnson bought 60% of the Equitrust insurance company before almost doubling their assets from 16 billion to 26 billion. If you told Prime Magic Johnson he'd one day work in insurance, he probably would have laughed. Yet Ion Tiriac's corporate change was somehow even bolder. You've likely never heard of him, but you'll never forget the mustache. Ion Tiriac was a pro tennis player from Romania who won the French Open during his peak in 1970. He retired 10 years later but had such a unique look, he was given a role in many different ads. Then he casually decided to open his own bank. It was the first in his country after communist Romania ended, with its profits funding other ventures in real estate, auto leasing, and air travel, although his coolest business is easily his car museum. He owns over 300 different incredibly unique cars, including 2 Rolls-Royce Phantom 4s, of which only 18 were made, and are valued at $3 million each. The rest of his collection features everything from Fords to Ferraris, and they're all on display at the Tiriac Auto Gallery. Despite earning just £200,000 during his professional tennis days, he became Romania's richest man with a worth of 1.7 billion, but he's not nearly as famous as presenter Michael Strahan. NFL players retire after 3.3 years on average, yet Strahan played from 1993 to 2007, spending 15 years with the New York Giants, and retiring after a year that his team had won the Super Bowl. But while this made him perfect for a career in sporting commentary, he approached it through a slightly different medium. Strahan became a talk show co-host on Live with Kelly and Michael, which increased its ratings so ferociously.
And this is what I mean. He just went from something, I mean, his team was still successful, don't get me wrong, and this definitively helped him, but still, he did something he could good and found something he can do better. Perfect. Just perfect.
It began beating its competition by 87%. He was then offered a position on Good Morning America where he also performed exceptionally, winning 2 daytime Emmys for Outstanding Talk Show Host. More recently, Strahan was given a star on Hollywood's Walk of Fame, represented by a whole new category for sports entertainers, making his star the first to feature a trophy symbol. Michael certainly deserves his $17 million a year, while Vinnie Jones is also perfect for every role he plays. You might recognize Vinny as the coach in She's the Man, being given the role as a former professional soccer player. He played 184 games of Premier League football, where he built a reputation as a super aggressive person. Vinny had once casually threatened to rip off and spit in the hole another player's ear, broken the record for the world's fastest yellow card, and of his 184 matches, 12 had ended in red cards. His own club's chairman labeled him Mosquito Brain, yet Vinny's tough attitude paid off unexpectedly. In 1998, he was cast as a criminal in Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, although his casting might have been too perfect, as on the day he was supposed to start shooting, he had to attend a court hearing for assaulting his neighbor over an argument about a garden fence. He was sentenced to 100 hours of community service. Vinny was then also given 8.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't understand that. You have someone that actually has this kind of behavior shown time and time and time and time again. And then he gets only community service. What the F? If you have a pattern, then just punish them accordingly. If you have no pattern, let's just say this would be a slip up, because this happens, we're all human, a slip up can happen. But if you do things like that, always, all the time, that's not a slip up. That's just something that happens with this person. And before this person harms someone, you just say, okay, you have a history of that, sorry, just done.
80 hours community service after admitting assault and using threatening words or behavior towards members of an aircrew. As passengers and crew tried to restrain him, Jones declared, "I can get you murdered. I can get the whole crew murdered for £3,000. But these hiccups only helped his career as he began to play tough guys in every single movie, for example the X-Men's Juggernaut. He's since acted in over 100 films, but it feels like Shaq appeared in even more commercials. After retiring as the 10th best player ever, Shaq began making rap music, releasing 5 studio albums, one of which featuring Michael Jackson. Under the name DJ Diesel, Shaq began performing live at festivals as big as EDC Las Vegas. On top of music, Shaq appeared on WWE, in shows like Curb Your Enthusiasm, and so many different commercials IMDb can't even count them all. However, most of his earnings have come from savvy business moves. Shaq owned 155 Five Guys restaurants, representing 10% of all locations, as well as 150 car washes, 40 gyms, and 17 Auntie Anne restaurants. He's built a net worth of $500 million, although there's something a whole lot cooler about the success of Terry Crews. He was drafted to the NFL in 1991, playing 6 games for the Rams, 10 games for the Chargers, and 16 games for the Redskins, although he'd explained that he wasn't very good. I was always on the end of the roster. I was never a big superstar. I was an 11th round draft pick, partially because he didn't even enjoy it.
It took me years to figure out I never really liked football. Wow.
Terry made it obvious that he instead preferred the arts.
I'm going to be honest, this can happen, especially if you're influenced by a lot of things. I'm going to tell you my case. I actually got, because of a tradition on my part, I learned to be a butcher. Did I enjoy it? Not a little bit, but I got so manipulation is the wrong word for it. I got talked into it because, well, the oldest son has to do this, it's this. And at the end of the day, I didn't enjoy it. It was a very, very bad job for me specifically because I didn't enjoy it. Of course, I learned a lot of things out of it. I also got a bit harder in life, so there are definitively lessons I took with me that actually stayed with me, but it was miserable. It was freaking miserable for me. For 11 years in my life, I actually didn't have a day where I had fun with my job. Not even a single day. So yeah, that's that. So this is definitively a thing that can happen.
I would go back into the locker room and ask the players if they wanted their portraits painted.
You did these while you were playing?
While I was playing, I was known as the artist football player.
Retiring from the NFL to take his talent to Hollywood. His family thought he was crazy.
There was family members that were like, he had a chance, he blew it.
Right.
You know, that was the consensus.
Although whilst working security on the set of Training Day, Terry was given an unexpected chance.
Well, the director walks over to me and he said, "Hey man, you want to be in this movie?" I said, "Yeah." I was like, "Sir, whatever you need me to do."
This turned into another movie, then another, but it was after appearing in White Chicks that his life would totally change.
The producer of the movie called me. He said, "Terry, your life will never ever be the same."
Terry was offered to appear in the Old Spice commercials, which went on for more than 10 whole years, calling it his revenge on the NFL.
They played it all over the NFL. That was another thing that was kind of like my revenge on the league, because you couldn't watch a game without seeing some crazy Terry Crews Old Spice commercial.
Although in terms of success after sporting retirement, there's nobody close to Michael Jordan. Considered the greatest NBA player ever, Jordan was approached by Nike to create his own special shoe, hoping to make $3 million over a 3-year period. Instead, it earned $126 million by the end of the first 12 months. The shoes have since made him roughly $1.5 billion, which he used to buy a share in the Charlotte Hornets, spending $275 million in 2010 before reselling it in 2023 for a whopping $3 billion. As a result, Michael Jordan is the richest athlete ever with a net worth of $3.2 billion.
Damn, he got... The guy did well. But as it is, acolytes, just be happy for them that they actually did it and tried to achieve what you want to achieve. It doesn't have to be necessarily a billionaire because, well, different people have different things they want to do. So, as it is, good night.